Yo, what's up, everyone? Back for this Thursday slate. We got just a 6-game slate for today. We also have an early slate, but we'll be going over the main slate in this one. Let's get right into it. It's definitely been a while since we had a short slate. So you can drop a like and subscribe down below before we get started. And you can check out the website, links in the description. So at pitcher today, we have 3 guys above 10,000. I think all 3 are fine. None of the matchups really stick out except for Lynn's matchup against the Mariners, but he's kind of fallen back to earth over his past couple starts. Ryu's fine at 10.5, although he's also not been great as of late. His strikeout stuff is not as good as you want when you're paying above. You pay out for him just because he doesn't give up a lot of runs. Just a 2 ERA, but the strikeout rate, not very impressive. So when I'm paying up, I like to get pitchers that have a really high strikeout rate. DeGrom is probably the best spend up, but 12K is definitely a high price tag against the Cubs of all teams. I'm going to go down to Paddock here, who I expect to bounce back. He's just had some tough matchups lately against the Dodgers. Then he had the Red Sox, and then against the Phillies. So it's a nice, soft matchup here. He gets to go on the road in San Francisco. It's not a ballpark upgrade or anything, but it's still a very nice pitching park. The Giants, they've definitely fallen back out of the playoff race, even though they're still kind of in it, but they're definitely not as hot as they were a couple weeks ago. Paddock's just not been great as of late, but I think his price tag makes me want to take a chance on him just because he still has good strikeout stuff. He doesn't give very many hits. He doesn't give very many walks, only 27 walks in the season, so he's efficient. And even though he doesn't go like 100 pitches, he is efficient with his pitches, and he can still go 6 innings, at least. And then the second pitcher is going to be from that same game. I'm going to go all the way down to Derek Rodriguez. Couple reasons today, because we don't really have any cheap value pitcher that I like. We have Coors on the slate with 2 terrible pitchers in Coors. We also have the Rangers to pick on against Felix Hernandez. We have the Reds to pick on against Duger. So those are the top stacks for me, and even the Dodgers. So it's pretty clear which teams you want to stack up today. And they're expensive, so you want to get a cheap pitcher. If you look here, there's nobody cheap that you want. Alex Wood is 7,900. I guess he's fine, but he's been bad. He has single digits in all of his games except for one. He's not been a strikeout pitcher since he's been back. So I don't really like him at that price tag, and then can't really take a play any with these guys. So just play Derek Rodriguez. The Padres have a low total. He's been pitching at home. He's up and down, but if he can have a good start here, he's had a couple of 20-point games lately. He's not a big strikeout pitcher, but you're just needing him to get you double digits, and that's more than enough return on his salary. And he does have the upside to get you over 20. So facing one of the worst teams in baseball against righties in terms of strikeouts, even though he's not a strikeout pitcher, you can still run into a few just because the Padres strike out that much. So going with 2 pitchers from the same game, both are pretty cheap, and they definitely can bring a big return on their salaries. So like I said, the stacks for today for me are going to be the core stacks. I love the Rangers, I like the Reds, and I like the Dodgers. Those 4 teams are where I'm looking, and even the Reds. At first base, going to go with Josh Bell. Josh Bell is back. He is really starting to flash his power as of late after he was in a really bad cold streak where he went 20-plus games without hitting a home run. It's impressive that he still has 33 bombs on the season. His average is still respectable, over 100 RBIs. Huge ballpark upgrade going into Colorado. And Chichi Gonzalez is just not a good pitcher. He's been in the AAA for most of his career. So he's still young, but he doesn't have much pedigree. And he's not shown much reason to stay in the big leagues this year. He's given up a ton of power to both sides of the plate. He's not been very good at home. Doesn't strike people out. 12.8% K rate to righties. Lefties have a 7.49 xFIP against him. So you got to love Josh Bell here, batting from the left side of the plate, and they have a 48% hard hit rate. So I love Josh Bell at 5,400. Second base is going to be Nick Solak. He's only 3,700. I like the Rangers. They're pretty expensive, except for Solak is still cheap. He's been hitting the ball so well since he's been in the big leagues with a 320 average in his 25 at-bats. He does have power. He was great in AAA with the power, so he had 27 bombs in just 114 games, and a little bit of speed, but not much. But anyway, in this park, with this heat, and with Felix Hernandez, who is just nowhere near as good as he was, he's fallen off the cliff with his stuff. He gives up so many home runs. He's given up 11 bombs on the season in just 44 innings. That is a home run per 9 of well over 2. He's not striking people out like he was. And it's just a really bad spot going into Texas with the heat. So you got to like the Rangers. They're pretty expensive, but I like Solak's price tag a lot. As second base allows you to save at that position and then pay up for first base in the outfield. Speaking of the outfield, I'm definitely going to be paying up for more Coors bats. I like Brian Reynolds of the Pirates. $5,300 for him, but he's been deserving of that price tag. He's been so good. It's kind of one of the reasons why the Pirates traded away some of their... they traded away Corey Dickerson at the deadline just because Brian Reynolds is that good and deserves to play every day. And with Polanco hurt, he's made the most of his opportunity, and he's definitely part of their long-term plans. Just a really good hitter. He hits for power as well, has speed. This season against righties, he's batting .352 with 10 home runs. He's also been much better on the road with a .344 average. Doesn't get much better going into Coors. He definitely has power, 209 ISO. For him on the season with a 48% hard hit rate against righties. Chichi Gonzalez, really bad against lefties and switch hitters. Love Josh Bell, and I love Brian Reynolds today. Both mash righties, and both are some of the best hitters on the Pirates, so it doesn't hurt to pay up for them. And then on the Rockies, if you want a cheap play, probably Hillard at $4,000. Just got called up a couple days ago, but he was killing it in AAA with the Rockies out of the playoffs. No reason not to bring him up. They brought him up, and he hit a home run on his first start. So in AAA, as you see, he had 35 bombs and 22 steals. So he has power, steal, and speed, which is super intriguing for fantasy and super appealing for fantasy. At only $4,000 against Trevor Williams, who's really been just awful over the past month or two. It's a really good spot for him, and he's only $4,000, so not often you get a bat in Coors at a very cheap price tag like that. So take advantage of him, with Williams being really bad against lefties so far this season, and as of late especially. So those are the 6 plays that I like. Leaves you with $4,500 left, so you can literally pay up for anybody else you want. This is what I like, going with 2 pitchers that are in a good spot just with the matchups, and then going with some heavy hitters here. And like I said, I like the Reds facing Duger, who was really bad in AAA. I don't know why he got called up. He was rocked in his first start, and then they're giving him a second chance. In AAA, he had a 7.59 ERA in 53 innings. What did they expect was going to happen to him in his first big league start? He gave up 6 runs in 5 innings, 2 home runs. The only good thing I can say is that he's pitching in Miami, but the Reds definitely do have power with Aquino there. Van Meter has power. Suarez has power. So it could definitely be a sneaky stack with a lot of teams. A lot of players probably just going to stack up Coors. The Reds could definitely go overlooked here, so I think they make for a great stack. The Rangers, they're expensive for the most part, but I think Santana is fine. Calhoun is great. The shortstop is pretty cheap. Andrews is a nice value there. And then Odor is cheap, but he's not been good at all lately. Then the Dodgers against Kelly. You want to look at the lefties in particular. And if Pollock's in there, he's really cheap at $44. But really, Peterson, I like him. Seager, Muncy, Bellinger. They're my favorite plays. And on the Rockies, stack up pretty much anybody here against Williams. I like the full stack there. I like the full Pirate stack, full Red stack, full Ranger stack. So it's only 10 teams on the slate, but 5 of them are in really good spots, especially the 3 of the Coors games and the Rangers. So that's kind of it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You can drop a like if you did, and good luck today.